Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Well, guys, it happened. LeBron made his decision. He is going to the 76ers, and we're going to talk all about that, along with a couple other things on this clip for YouTube. We're going to talk about pros and cons, winners and losers, and then the domino effect that I see playing out. Now, if you're listening on YouTube, please, we appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment down below what your thoughts of LeBron going to the 76ers is. What do you think of it? Who are your winners and losers, pros and cons? If you're listening on the podcast, stay tuned. Me and Clint, he'll join me after this little audio, and we're going to talk about some NBA over-unders that came out recently, what we think of some of the more surprising ones, and then we talk about our top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. And we're going to do some more fun things during the offseason like this. Next week, we're going to do top 10 what ifs in the modern NBA. So look out for that. I will also be posting that on YouTube. So enough with that. Let's focus on LeBron going to the 76ers. I think this is a really good fit. Maybe not the best fit that he had. I think the Warriors was the best fit for him, especially if they could have got AD. But this is a really good, seamless fit for LeBron James. I think this immediately makes the 76ers like the favorite in the East, although I don't want to sleep on the Knicks. The Knicks are still going to be a really good team, but the other teams in the Eastern Conference, we'll see. But the reason why I really think this is a good fit for LeBron, a couple different reasons. First of all, the number of games that he will have to play goes down, like as far as being competitive, like to compete. And at the age of like 41, 42, I think that's important for LeBron James to kind of save himself for the playoffs. And the same with Embiid. Embiid now can kind of save himself for the playoffs. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But really, the basketball fit to me is kind of perfect. I think he's just one of, if not the greatest, like passer of the basketball, playmaker, high IQ player of all time. And putting him in a situation where if you look at, one of my big concerns when the 76ers got Jaylen Brown was like, there's only one ball. Jaylen Brown is a black hole. He's not much of a playmaker. Embiid is in the post playmaker, but he's so inconsistent being on the court. You never know when you have him. VJ is definitely not a playmaker. He's definitely a score first guy, slasher. And then you got Maxey. Now, Maxey averaged 38 minutes last year and got to 6 assists, which is good, but he is definitely a elite combo guard that focuses more on scoring the ball. And we kind of saw that in the playoffs when Embiid got back on the court. He kind of like has to focus on passing him the ball. He focuses a lot on passing the ball. He focuses a lot on passing the ball that it takes away from his scoring. And I still think Maxey has another level to reach. We'll talk about that. But in this instance, and at least for this year, now he can focus on being like a true elite scorer of the basketball, off ball, on ball, slashing. He'll be able to carry the team when maybe LeBron doesn't play. But when LeBron plays, he's going to be able to work with Maxey. He's going to be able to work with Brown. If you think of like build types on like 2K, Maxey would be close to Kyrie Irving, right? Jaylen Brown close to Dwayne Wade. So LeBron has worked with these type of build types and has been successful with it, and they're all in their prime still. He is going to, maybe he won't score as much, which would be good, and he's just going to facilitate. And I think with him on the court, Embiid can even take a step back and be part of like the system instead of the system, which I think will help the Sixers. And I think Embiid's willingness to do that will be higher because it is LeBron James, right? So having that true playmaker is a perfect fit at the 4 too. So you can still have Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Embiid, and LeBron on the court at the same time. Again, I just think it's really good for the Sixers. The con is there's only one ball. Now, this is a small con, but it will take away from other players. Obviously, Embiid won't get as much shots. Maxey won't get as many shots. What's his name there? Brown won't get as many shots. So this is the con. Can they figure it out? Now they're all like high IQ players, so I think they will all figure it out. Like I think we kind of overstate that at times, right? But it's a fair point to bring up with this team when you think about these four guys and the way they all play basketball, kind of all need the ball in their hands, not to mention including VJ Edgecombe and the way he plays. So again, I think the pros outweigh the cons. Great fit. Maybe the best opportunity for LeBron to win a fifth ring, chasing Kobe to get that fifth ring, is the 76ers. So let's go to winners and losers. Winners, 76ers, LeBron James, already mentioned. I think it was a really good fit, perfect fit. Playmaker, also the 76ers being probably the favorites in the East, and um, the 76ers really having an opportunity to win a title with adding LeBron James, a higher degree. Maxey talked about that. Off ball, he can focus on that part of his game. Again, I think Maxey has another ceiling to hit as a playmaker, but this year he can kind of focus on being that off ball guy. He can play less minutes. I think this is a big win for Maxey in this regard. He played 38 minutes last year. That was pretty high. I think he played the most minutes. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was pretty high up there. Um, Now he can play less minutes. He can play instead of 38 for 34, and he will tire out less, not only during the season, but even game to game, he'll be less tired. Here's a slight winner, Miami Heat. I know the Heat fans, if you're a Heat fan and you're watching this, let me know how you feel about LeBron not being a Miami Heat. But I just thought the fit was super weird because, like, between Giannis, Bam, and LeBron, they're all big guys. They're forwards or centers. Like, LeBron's a forward. But Giannis can play forward or center. Bam can play forward or center. But I think like LeBron really is just a power forward right now. You don't really want him playing small forward. And then you had Andrew Wiggins there as well. Now you could have moved off Wiggins. You know, it's not like you're married to him. But I just thought it was a super weird fit. I think they're a small winner because he did go to Philly. So they're a small winner in that respect. And then I talked about Embiid. Embiid really has a chance to like finish the process here and win a ring, right? Like you bring in LeBron James, you now less is on your shoulders than what was on your shoulders before. It's just that he needs to buy in. He has to become like that stretch five, the mid range five, the guy that doesn't need the ball every single time down court. He has to kind of buy into what his role is going to be, which I think is going to be drastically different than what he's used to. And I think he will because, like, out of like most superstars, he is one that just really wants to win. So I think he'll buy in. Here's a couple losers: Warriors and Steph Curry. I think the Warriors was kind of the perfect fit if they would have been able to get AD. But with that being said, them not, I don't know if they would have been able to get out of the West. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand why LeBron wouldn't want to go there without AD because AD actually makes it a little bit more interesting without AD. I don't think the Warriors have a shot. And with that being said, Curry. Listen, we all want to see Curry compete more unless the Warriors and Curry decide that maybe moving on is the best for the Warriors, which I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I don't want it to happen. Like a big part of me does not want that to happen. A small part of me does because like it'd be fun to see Curry in big playoff games again. But regardless, that like I just think his window on the Warriors and the Warriors window to competing at the highest level is pretty closed at this point. Another loser, the Cavs. The Cavs in two ways. Number one, the story of him coming back home and maybe even possibly retiring. I think that would have been like a cool narrative, a cool story to build on. But also, like, I think it would give um, them an excuse not to re-sign Harden. You know, I think they have a deal with Harden done. But if LeBron would have went there, and I think they would have moved off of Harden, and I also believe that they probably would have moved off one of their big men if LeBron went there to make the fit more seamless. So he would have been like with Mobley and Mitchell, and then whatever assets they could get for Allen, right? Like that would have been their team, which would have been a really interesting team. But I digress. I'm just saying that the Cavs are a little bit of a loser in that regard. Eastern Conference, every team is kind of a loser in this. Again, I want to put the Knicks separate because I think we got to respect the Knicks. They won a title. Maybe they still should be the favorites, but even if you want to say that the Knicks are a little bit of the favorites, I think it's kind of the 76ers distinguish themselves from the rest of the Eastern Conference. My team, the Detroit Pistons, I think they're clearly better than right now. The Pacers, who people are kind of like forgetting about, I think they're going to be a really good team next year, but the 76ers are in a better spot right now. The Boston Celtics, all the other teams that we can talk about. So the Eastern Conference. Here's a sneaky loser, VJ Edgecombe. Uh, this year will not be a development year for you, dude. It just won't be. You won't get the ball as much. You won't be able to do what you did last year with the ball with Brown and now LeBron. I just don't see it. His numbers will regress, and I don't think it's like because he's getting worse or he plateaued. I just think by logical whatever, I don't know how you want to put it, like just thinking logically about this is like there's only one ball. You got Brown, you got Maxey, you got Embiid, you got LeBron. You're fifth on the pecking order, and when all five of them, especially when all five are on the court, so I think he'll kind of like regress, at least number wise, next year. His development might take a back seat for next year. And then moving forward, they'll move on with him. So we'll see what happens. But those are my winners and losers. Let me know some of yours. Domino effect. So DeRozan, Kuminga, Watson, Beal, and Duran, they're kind of we're waiting on all those guys. I think that's a domino effect that will happen. We'll see where these guys sign. Here's a couple of predictions that Clint made. I just wanted to read them because he sent me like what he thought would happen with these dominoes. Kuminga, he thinks will end up a Laker. He thinks that the Watson will end up a Milwaukee Buck. That might be copium. He's a Bucks fan, obviously. But this is a prediction. DeRozan to the Raptors and the Beal to the Heat. Durham will stay with the Pistons. He says qualifying. I still think they do a long-term deal, but who knows at this point. Anyway, we'll talk about during a different time. So those are the dominoes we're waiting to see. I think Watson will be a Nugget. I just don't think the Nuggets, with the way other teams are right now, you can't afford to lose Watson. So I think he'll be a Nugget, but we'll see. Finally, my last sneaky domino is going to be Kevin Durant. I still think Durant's going to be traded. I think maybe they already have in mind a trade partner. I don't have any sources, guys, obviously. But I do think that Durant will be on the move. And the reason why is because I think the Rockets, all the drama last year, I think either they have a trade in place and they're waiting to see what LeBron did to see if any other offers came in, or like some of the offers went up, like they got more assets or they could get more assets, which is what they should do. And I think some teams will now be more desperate and that Durant will look better because LeBron made a move. Like let's just say like the Nuggets want Kevin Durant. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying let's say if they did, but they thought that LeBron coming there was like a 10% chance. Well, they're going to wait on what LeBron does before they trade assets or whatever to get Kevin Durant, right? Or like even the Pistons. Maybe the Pistons want Kevin Durant. They have a trade in mind, but the Rockets are like, let's see what happens with LeBron. And that way if LeBron goes to a team, other teams might want Durant. So we'll wait till that happens. I think Durant gets moved. It's my hot take. It's my sneaky hot prediction, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's all I got for this clip, guys. Thanks for listening to me ramble about LeBron going to the 76ers. Let me know again in the comments down below what your thoughts of LeBron going to the 76ers. Give me some winners and losers and whatever else, dominoes. Give me a couple dominoes. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, if you're listening on the podcast, you'll hear the introduction all over again, where we will talk about some over-unders that surprised us, and we do hit on NBA news first. There's some small things that happened, Lou Dort being traded, and then we do our top 10 NBA greatest of all time. And then, like I said, next week we're going to do top 10 what ifs in the modern NBA. So look forward to that. We're going to have hopefully a lot of basketball conversations that are fun this offseason, along with a lot of NFL stuff that will be coming out in August, which I got to get scheduled. So thanks so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed here on YouTube, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.